Good afternoon. This is Timothy with Luck of the Twin, your walking story. So, today we're going to talk about a difficult subject in my life, the whole reason I started Luck of the Twin, and living with trauma and what that entails in my life. So, my age today is 35 years old, and I have suffered from the same things throughout my entire life. Now, it all started when I was 7 years old. My stepfather would sexually molest me while my mother was away at the grocery store, away from the house. And I could remember a time when my brothers would be calling out to me, wondering where I'm at. And my stepfather would have me on top of the sink doing things to me and asking if I liked it and all that kind of thing. So, very difficult, traumatic events to take place as a child, not understanding why this person is doing this, or it's even if it's right. And so I never knew how to say no throughout most of my life. I was always a yes man. I did anything and everything that somebody wanted me to do. As a friend, loved one, I would go out of my way for strangers. And I would never leave energy for myself. I would allow this to happen all the time, very often. And, it's very difficult to go through life like that. Like, no one should go through it like that. And so it was very difficult. So what happened was, one day, last day of second grade, I come home from school. I shouldn't come home from school. I'm sorry. Sorry, it's just tough to talk about. I wake up that day ready to go to second grade, and there's sirens flashing outside, and there's cops, and there's a lot of people, a lot of commotion, and I didn't know what was going on. And they grabbed my stepfather, put him in handcuffs, and carried him away. And then they took me to a separate vehicle and placed me in the vehicle and drove us away. And now they took us to a foster home away from our mom. I guess this was to see if we would be okay to continue living with her, but we stayed at that place for a couple of years. I can remember crying myself to sleep at night, just wanting my mother, wanting the comfort, the love that I was just so used to having. And then it being taken away from me. This is everything. As a child, to go through that, I don't wish that on no one. I have such compassion for people that have gone through any trauma. I know how it feels. You're not alone. We're not alone. But we have to work together to help each other. And so once our mom got us back, I had a lot of anger inside me, built inside. Sometimes it comes out, sometimes it doesn't. Luckily enough, the foster parents were Christian Baptist family, and they really helped me pull myself together. I mean, I know during the abuse I was making bad grades, and after the foster home and get back with my mom, I was AB honor roll student always. And so me going back in my past and looking through my old report cards and noticing like how the trauma affected my life, it affected every aspect. It wasn't just socially, mentally, physically. It was everything. It's how I perceived myself, the shame, the guilt I carried, the what if, why did I not speak out? Why did it take my older brother to speak out to someone at school? Why couldn't I have done it? Why did I not have a voice? Yeah, he was 5 years older than me, but I just felt that I could have stopped it sooner. Maybe the damage wouldn't be as much, and then I end up, going through life. Most of the relationships I was in were either toxic or they weren't the best fit. Maybe I was playing Mr. Fix-It and then being with people that needed, fixing. And I had my own issues and I couldn't help them and help myself. And so, I I waited till I was 22 years old to lose my virginity to my ex-wife. And I really wanted things to work out with me and her. But at the end of the day, she wasn't the best fit. And she met someone else while we were married the first year, and supposedly was with him during that time. And then we were here, and she said she wanted to work, I told her I want to work things out. So she gave me an ultimatum: either we get a divorce or we get a separation. So I said I agreed to the separation. During that year, I'd only been with her twice, and come to find out, she's pregnant by the guy she was seeing on the side. And it just broke my heart. It broke my heart. I waited, till I was 22 years old. And this is the person, I wanted to be my wife, my first wife. And so it didn't work out. And I get in another relationship, a couple years later, and big age difference of 8 years. She was a great person, but I still had my issues. I still had my baggage. I hadn't unpacked it yet. I hadn't unpacked my own baggage. Did not know how to do that. I didn't have any counseling. I went from relationship to relationship, I guess trying to see if that they would repair me, but I needed to repair myself. It wasn't till I met my wife, Premier, and she gave me the time to heal, the support, the love. And now I can honestly say that I'm on the journey of healing. These last 8 months have been transformative. I could just literally, I'm going to share the podcast that I listed. It's 6 steps, but it is transformative. I used to think of myself as that child scared in the corner that had no voice. He could not speak. He was scared. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know why this was happening to him. He was scared of the world outside. He always saw himself as an introvert. And he didn't want to be seen. He wears dark clothes. He doesn't want to walk out in the light. And that's me. That was me 8 months ago. Like, Premier would come home and there would be no light in the room. I would have all the blinds closed. I'd have the lights off. I just was in my own bubble. I get so depressed. I'd be down for 2 weeks, and I couldn't pull myself out. Like, no one could pull me out. I had to figure a way out, and I would just be laying there trying to sleep, but I'd have my eyes closed, and I'd just be laying there for hours every day. I would be robotic. I would do what I need to do that day and accomplish, but I wasn't fully there in my mind. I couldn't take on any more tasks than I already was. And so it was affecting my marriage. It was affecting how I am a father. And as someone that doesn't know what a father looks like, because I lost my father at 10 years old when I was still in the foster home, I didn't know how to be that person for my daughter. I didn't know what that is. And now that I've been able to take on that role and give it my 100%, it's amazing, because I never knew that I was capable of loving someone else when I lacked feeling loved by others. So when I started cleaning house, I started understanding the people around me mattered. And there's people I needed to remove from my life that wasn't benefiting me. It wasn't allowing me to grow and flourish. And it's just been amazing. It's been so great. Like, all I want to do is share my story to help others. And everybody I'll come across to, they're like, wow, that's amazing that, that you've done this. And I'm like, well, I appreciate it. But I mean, everyone can do it. It takes time. It takes you looking within yourself, and it takes you opening those doors you don't want to open. I didn't want to open this door. This is the first time I'm speaking publicly about abuse in my life. And it's very important that we talk about it. It shouldn't be taboo. So many people go through so much in their lives, but they're too scared to talk about it. But the fact that I was allowed myself to be outward about my feelings rather than inward is the only reason I'm talking to you right now. I spoke out. And sadly, the abuse didn't stop him. My stepfather. It happened on many different occasions in my past. People I thought were friends that just took advantage of me. And so I can honestly say that I can say no now to the people that should not be in my life, and they don't have control. I am in control of my destiny. My destiny is mine. My life is mine. My body is mine. It is not, I am not a tool. I am loved, and people care about me. So just know that this is what the Luck of the Twin is about. And I will continue sharing my life in hopes that it helps you. Because you matter, and people do care about you. Because last year, I had a knife to my neck. And I did not know. I just had a breakdown. And I ended up in a clinic for a week. And I met people that have gone through abuse just as I have. And they're still living. They're still surviving. They're trauma survivors. And that's all we can do is survive. But we should not be silent. We should talk. Find someone that you can talk to. And they will, and if you feel comfortable enough with them, they'll be there for you. Now, it might not be 12 people, 5 people, 6 people, whatever. It might be 1, 2, but that's all you need. I have a very small circle in my life now. I have a lot of acquaintances, but I have very few friends, and I'm okay with that because that's how it's meant to be. You're not meant to have all these friends in the world, because at the end of the day, there's people that are there to care about you, and there's other people that are there to watch you fall down on your face so they can laugh at you. But I am not afraid no more. So that's why I'm able to talk about this. Anyone can do this. So in hopes that you are truly changed, transformed, I will leave that podcast that has helped me. I also have a playlist on my Facebook, Luck of the Twin. Also, my videos get posted on YouTube. And then I'll have an email attached too. So if you want to reach out, my email's there. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my story. We all have a story. And I wish you good health. And I pray that all is well in your life. And if it's not, you can make it that way. You are in control. Take care, y'all.